If you're taking vitamin D3, K2, and magnesium every day and still waking up tired, still feeling stiff, still not sleeping well, in many cases, the issue isn't the supplements themselves, but how and when you're taking them. For many people over 60, it comes down to something surprisingly simple: timing and food pairing. You've done the research. You bought good quality supplements. You're taking them consistently. So why does it still feel like nothing is working? That's one of the most common questions I hear. And in many cases, it's not about what you're taking, but how your body is working with it now. Your body doesn't absorb nutrients in isolation. It absorbs them in context. And after 60, that context matters more than most people expect. Here's why. There are 3 changes that matter here. First, stomach acid naturally decreases. That means your digestive system becomes less efficient at breaking down and extracting nutrients, both from food and supplements. Second, the body activates vitamin D3 more slowly. D3 has to be converted into its active form before your body can actually use it, and that process tends to become less efficient with age. And third, and this one surprises people, your body becomes more sensitive to timing. Your internal clock, which controls sleep, hormones, and muscle repair, reacts more strongly to when you eat and when you take certain nutrients. So timing stops being optional and starts becoming more meaningful. When you put those together, lower stomach acid, slower activation, and higher sensitivity to timing, you start to see why this makes a difference. Let's start with D3 and K2. These two work as a team, and they share one key requirement. They're both fat-soluble, which means they tend to absorb better when taken with a meal that includes healthy fat. If you take them on an empty stomach or with a very low-fat meal, absorption may be less efficient for some people. So the question becomes, what should you take them with? 4 simple foods stand out. Eggs are one of the easiest. Whole eggs, including the yolk, provide the fat needed to support absorption. They also contain small amounts of natural D3. 2 or 3 eggs in the morning is one of the simplest ways to support this. Avocado is another strong option. Its healthy fats support absorption, and some research suggests it may help improve how well D3 is taken up by the body. Even half an avocado with breakfast can make a difference. Oily fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines adds another layer. They provide both fat and natural vitamin D, helping reinforce what you're already taking. You don't need it every day. A few times a week is enough. And finally, almonds or walnuts. A small handful gives you healthy fat and also contributes magnesium from whole food. Now let's talk about magnesium, because this is where timing makes the biggest difference. Magnesium glycinate is one of the more gentle and well-absorbed forms, especially for adults over 60. And it works best when taken at night, about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. That's because magnesium supports relaxation of both muscles and the nervous system. Here's where many people go wrong. They take magnesium at the same time as D3, but those two don't work the same way. D3 tends to support daytime energy and activity. Magnesium supports rest and recovery. So when you take them together, you may not be getting the best of either. A simple shift can help. Morning, D3, and K2 with food night. Magnesium on its own. There are also 2 foods that naturally support magnesium in the evening. Spinach is one of them. It's one of the easiest ways to increase magnesium intake through food. Pumpkin seeds are another. Just a small handful provides a meaningful amount and works well as an evening snack before taking magnesium. So here's a simple structure you can follow. Morning, take D3 and K2 with a meal that includes healthy fat, eggs, avocado, fish, or nuts. Evening, have magnesium-rich foods with dinner. Then, before bed, take magnesium glycinate on its own. This is a general approach. Your routine may look a little different. For reference, many people use ranges like vitamin D3, around 2000 to 4000, IU vitamin K2, around 100 to 200 micrograms, magnesium glycinate, around 200 to 400 milligrams, elemental magnesium. But these can vary depending on your individual needs and lab results. And if you're taking higher amounts of vitamin D, it's a good idea to occasionally check your blood levels to make sure you're in a safe and effective range. Also, when taking higher amounts of D3, K2 plays an important role in helping direct calcium where it belongs, including bones rather than soft tissues. It's a small shift, but for many people, it makes a noticeable difference. Better sleep often improves first, sometimes within a week or two, then energy during the day, then how the body feels in the morning over the following weeks. Not overnight, but steady. If you've been taking these supplements consistently and not seeing much change, this is often a missing piece. Not the dose, not the brand, but timing and how your body is working with them now. And if anything feels persistent or concerning, fatigue that doesn't improve, sleep that's heavily disrupted, it's always worth discussing with your doctor. What we're talking about here supports general health. It doesn't replace proper care. But for many people over 60 who are doing everything right and still not seeing results, this is where things often start to change. If this was helpful, subscribe. There's more coming on how food, timing, and supplements work together, specifically after 60. Simple, practical, and grounded in how the body actually works.